Have you ever felt that strange sensation, as if the universe itself was conspiring to bring your deepest dreams to life? Or perhaps you've experienced the opposite, that invisible force that seems to consistently block your most heartfelt desires. What if I told you that this isn't random chance, but a profound universal principle operating behind the scenes of your reality? But before we begin, please hit the like button and let me know where in the world you're watching from today. It's always fascinating seeing who's joining us from around the globe. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. The secrets I'm about to share have been whispered through the corridors of time, passed down from soul to soul by those who understood their immeasurable value. Stay with me until the end of this journey, because we're about to awaken together to a fundamental truth that could transform your entire perception of reality. Has this ever happened to you? You observe someone who seems to effortlessly attract abundance, while others struggle constantly against scarcity? The answer lies closer than you might imagine. You are not simply a leaf carried by the winds of fate. You are the wind itself. What many fail to recognize is that the law of attraction isn't merely some modern concept or passing trend. It's the hidden rhythm of existence itself, as immutable as the stars that grace our night sky and as faithful as the dawn that greets us each morning. This universal principle operates with perfect precision, whether we acknowledge it or not, shaping our experiences according to our innermost beliefs and vibrations. Think of your reality as an exquisite mirror, one that reflects with astonishing accuracy every thought you harbor, every emotion you nurture. The universe doesn't discriminate or judge. It simply responds to the energy you emit, matching your internal frequency with external experiences that resonate at the same level. What you're about to discover might surprise you. Your desires aren't random or accidental. They are sacred messages planted by the universe itself within your heart. Like Clara, who realized in her dreams that her deepest longings were actually divine invitations to manifest her reality, you too can recognize that each desire carries within it the seed of its own fulfillment. We are more than flesh and bone, more than the physical forms we inhabit. We are energy extending into the infinite tapestry of creation. Each thought you entertain, each feeling you embrace, weaves itself into that tapestry, summoning experiences that echo your inner song. When you breathe doubt, the world responds with doubt. When you radiate abundance, the universe floods you with abundance. This revelation unveils the hidden truth behind our everyday experiences. The world isn't working against you. It's working with perfect precision, echoing your most intimate assumptions about life and about yourself. The mindset with which you face each morning isn't merely a passing mood, but the invisible mold that shapes your day. When you truly grasp this dynamic, the realization hits you profoundly. Your journey isn't about making things happen through force, but about aligning your inner landscape with what you wish to experience. The mirror cannot show what isn't present before it. If these manifestation principles resonated with you, make sure to subscribe to join our community of conscious creators. Each video explores another dimension of your infinite creative power. Behind the scenes of reality lies a transformation waiting to unfold. Each of us possesses an inherent creative power, a birthright passed down through generations as sacred wisdom. This power doesn't require external validation or permission. It simply awaits your recognition and conscious use. Consider for a moment how your perception shifts when you realize you're not merely reacting to circumstances, but actively creating them. This mindset revolution changes everything. The challenges you face aren't random obstacles thrown in your path, but reflections of inner conflicts seeking resolution. Your desires speak a language all their own. They whisper of possibilities that already exist in the quantum field, awaiting only your permission to materialize. When you honor these impulses rather than dismissing them as selfish or unrealistic, you recognize them for what they truly are: divine breadcrumbs leading you toward your highest expression. Think about Eleanor, who spent years seeking prosperity outside herself, pursuing endless opportunities and strategies. One morning, she realized her approach had created a dam blocking the natural flow of universal prosperity. Every worried thought about scarcity, every anxious calculation about what might be lacking, these were the stones and mortar building a wall against abundance's natural current. The revelation that changes everything is understanding that abundance doesn't flow from external sources, but emerges from within. It flows eternally, requiring only an open heart to receive it. It's like a hidden river that has always been there, waiting for you to recognize its presence. Imagine for a moment that every desire you feel is a sacred conversation between your soul and the infinite. Your task isn't to force or struggle, but to acknowledge this divine dialogue. Doubt may whisper that your desires are too grand, too selfish, or unreachable, yet these very desires are sacred seeds planted by the divine to guide you toward your highest self. This journey of conscious creation begins with a simple yet profound shift in awareness. Rather than seeing yourself as separate from the power you seek, you recognize your oneness with the infinite current of life. The impact of this inner revelation ripples outward, reshaping not just your thoughts, but the very fabric of your experienced reality. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring how gratitude acts as a transformative catalyst in this process of manifestation. The ancient scrolls of wisdom reveal a truth that has been echoed through generations. Gratitude possesses power beyond measure, transforming both the one who gives thanks and the universe that receives them. If these insights about being the creator of your reality rather than its passive recipient are resonating in your soul, write in the comments, "I see the mirror," if you've noticed how your thoughts reflect in your external reality. Milton's story speaks directly to this revelation. For years, he carried the weight of past wounds, allowing bitterness to cast long shadows on his path. Each offense, each disappointment became another stone in a wall between him and life's abundance. Yet transformation awaited him in the simplest of practices. One afternoon, exhausted by the burden of resentment, Milton paused to appreciate the warmth of the sunset on his face. In that moment, something shifted within him, a crack in the fortress of his discontent. With each subsequent day, he discovered that focusing on what he had rather than what he lacked began to dissolve the shadows that had defined his world. This understanding illuminates a profound truth about our very nature. We exist beyond the boundaries of flesh and bone. We are energy, vibrant, powerful energy, extending into the infinite tapestry of creation. Each thought we harbor, each emotion we nurture, weaves itself into that cosmic tapestry, calling forth experiences that resonate with our inner symphony. The revelation that transforms everything is recognizing this energetic blueprint of reality. When we emit doubt, the world reflects doubt back to us. When we radiate abundance, the universe responds in kind, multiplying the very qualities we embody. This isn't mystical thinking. It's the fundamental architecture of existence itself. Behind the scenes of your everyday experience lies this hidden truth. You are constantly broadcasting a frequency through your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. The universe, in its perfect responsiveness, cannot help but match that signal with corresponding circumstances and opportunities. Consider the journey of Eleanor, who spent years searching for prosperity outside herself, chasing external validations and opportunities without end. Each morning, she would wake up already feeling behind, scrambling to catch up, with an ever-moving target of success. Yet the more desperately she reached, the more elusive prosperity became. Subscribe now to continue your journey of transformation. This channel is dedicated to awakening the manifestation abilities that have always existed within you. The breakthrough came when Eleanor realized she had created a dam within herself that blocked the natural flow of universal abundance. Every anxious calculation about what might be lacking, every fearful projection about future scarcity, these were the very stones and mortar constructing a barrier against the current of prosperity trying to reach her. This represents a complete paradigm shift in how we approach manifestation. The barriers to your abundance aren't external circumstances or limited resources. They're the invisible walls built by your own fears and limiting beliefs. When you recognize this mechanism at work, you gain the power to dismantle these barriers from the inside out. Imagine for a moment what would happen if you stopped seeing abundance as something to be chased and started experiencing it as your natural state, a wellspring already flowing within you, requiring only your recognition to be fully expressed in your external reality. This transformational insight reveals why some people seem to attract prosperity effortlessly, while others struggle against constant limitation. The difference isn't in their external circumstances, but in their internal relationship with abundance itself. Those who manifest easily have simply removed the internal dams, blocking what naturally wants to flow. When we align our energetic signature with the frequency of abundance, we don't need to chase prosperity. We become magnetic to it. This alignment happens not through force or strategy, but through a profound inner recognition that abundance is our birthright, as natural to us as breathing. Now, I want to explore how our physical reality serves as a precise mirror reflecting our deepest beliefs and expectations. This principle operates with unwavering loyalty, showing us exactly what we've been programming into the field of infinite possibilities through our conscious and unconscious assumptions. If you've noticed how your thoughts about abundance or scarcity seem to manifest as corresponding experiences in your life, write in the comments, "I'm dissolving the dam," to share how you're breaking down the barriers to your natural prosperity. Dorothy's story illuminates a profound revelation about the mirror-like quality of our existence. Day after day, she struggled against circumstances that seemed immovable, pushing against walls that appeared solid and real. The breakthrough that would transform her life arrived when she noticed a surprising pattern. Her expectations of difficulty consistently manifested as obstacles, while her rare moments of confidence brought unexpected ease. This mirror principle operates with stunning precision in every aspect of our lives. Your external reality isn't arbitrary or disconnected from you. It's a perfect reflection of your internal landscape. When you truly grasp this mechanism at work, your approach to manifestation undergoes a revolutionary shift. You stop trying to change the reflection and instead focus on transforming the source of that reflection, your own consciousness. The journey toward abundance requires a fundamental recalibration of where we search for prosperity. Many of us have been conditioned to look outward, chasing external validations and resources as if they were the source of our fulfillment. Yet this approach creates a perpetual state of seeking without finding, of hunger that can never be satisfied. The hidden truth that masters throughout history have guarded is that abundance isn't something we acquire, it's something we allow. It flows naturally, like a river that has always existed beneath the surface of our awareness, requiring only our recognition to spring forth into our experience. This Eternal current needs no creation, only our willingness to remove the barriers we've built against it. Think of abundance as your natural state, not a distant destination, but your authentic home. The journey isn't about reaching somewhere new, but about returning to what has always been true. This perspective shifts your entire approach from one of desperate acquisition to peaceful recognition. Behind the scenes of manifestation lies another sacred principle, the divine nature of desire itself. Our culture, desires are often treated with suspicion, as if wanting more somehow indicates spiritual lack or selfishness. This misunderstanding has led many to silence their deepest longings, believing that transcendence comes through wanting less rather than understanding the true purpose of desire. Imagine for a moment that each authentic desire arising in your heart isn't random or arbitrary. What if these impulses are actually sacred messages, divine breadcrumbs leading you toward your highest expression? This revelation transforms how you relate to your own wants and needs. Your desires aren't obstacles to overcome or temptations to resist. They're an intimate conversation between your soul and the infinite. They whisper of possibilities that already exist in the quantum field, awaiting only your recognition and alignment to materialize in your experience. When doubt suggests your desires are too grand or unrealistic, remember that these very yearnings were planted within you, as seeds meant to flower into your unique contribution to the world. The art of manifestation isn't forcing or struggling to make things happen. It's recognizing this sacred dialogue and allowing it to unfold naturally. Just as a flower doesn't strain to bloom, but simply allows its inherent nature to express itself, your desires know their path to fulfillment without your anxious intervention. Tonight, as you prepare for sleep, choose a desire living in your heart. Instead of clinging to it or questioning its possibility, hold it gently in your consciousness. Feel it not as a distant wish, but as a living reality already taking form. Your mindset in these precious moments before sleep creates a blueprint that the universe follows with perfect precision. Now I want to delve into how our reality functions as a great mirror, reflecting with astonishing accuracy every thought we inhabit. This isn't an abstract concept, but a fundamental truth that reveals why some people seem blessed by fortune while others struggle against constant limitation. If you've begun to recognize that your desires aren't random wants but sacred messages guiding you toward your highest purpose, write in the comments, "My desires are divine breadcrumbs," to share this awakening with our community of conscious creators. This mirror principle isn't just some abstract theory, it's a fundamental mechanism operating in your life right now. Dorothy's revelation came when she noticed a startling pattern in her experiences. The days she woke up expecting problems inevitably brought challenges that matched her expectations precisely. Conversely, those rare mornings when she rose with a sense of confidence and ease somehow flowed with unexpected grace, as if an invisible hand had cleared her path. Have you ever noticed how people who constantly anticipate disaster seem to attract exactly what they fear? The colleague who always expects to be overlooked gets passed over for promotion after promotion. The friend who worries about rejection finds themselves repeatedly excluded. The family member who frets about financial strain experiences one unexpected expense after another. This isn't coincidence, karma, or some cosmic punishment. It's the mirror principle at work, a universal law operating with unwavering loyalty to the images we hold in mind. Each thought you nurture, each belief you harbor, projects outward like light cast upon water. The reflection cannot help but match its source with perfect fidelity. The fascinating revelation behind this principle is that it unveils the hidden architecture of our daily experiences. The world isn't conspiring against you, It's responding with precision to your innermost assumptions about life and yourself. Your morning mindset isn't merely a fleeting mood, but an invisible template shaping the hours that follow. When you grasp this dynamic fully, a profound realization dawns. Your task isn't to manipulate external circumstances, but to transform the internal landscape being reflected. The mirror cannot show what isn't present before it. This perspective shift represents a quantum leap in your journey of conscious creation. Think about it. How often have you pushed against circumstances, trying to force outcomes, only to meet increasing resistance? The breakthrough comes when you recognize that changing your reflection begins with changing what stands before the mirror. Your thoughts, beliefs, and emotional states aren't passive responses to reality, but active creators of it. This revelation illuminates why affirmations without genuine feeling often fail to produce results. Empty words without emotional resonance create only faint reflections. But when you align your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs, when you embody the state you wish to experience, the universe has no choice but to mirror that integrated vibration back to you. The mirror doesn't judge what it reflects. It simply returns with perfect accuracy whatever stands before it. Your financial circumstances reflect your deepest beliefs about prosperity. Your relationships mirror your innermost sense of worthiness. Your health echoes your subconscious expectations about vitality. Nothing is random. Everything is reflection. This principle operates with such reliability that you can use your external circumstances as feedback, revealing what you've been unconsciously projecting. Areas of struggle point to limiting beliefs needing transformation. Zones of flow indicate alignments already achieved. Your life becomes an ongoing dialogue between your consciousness and its reflection. Behind the scenes of this miraculous process lies a quantum field responding to your energetic signature with exact precision. Science has begun to glimpse what ancient wisdom has always known, that consciousness shapes reality at the most fundamental level. The observer affects the observed, not just in quantum physics laboratories, but in every moment of your lived experience. The implications of this understanding transform every aspect of your approach to manifestation. You shift from trying to make things happen through force and strategy to aligning your inner world with what you wish to experience. The journey becomes one of embodiment rather than acquisition, of becoming rather than attaining. Now, I want to explore another dimension of this mirror principle, how it reveals not only our conscious thoughts, but also our deepest subconscious programming. These hidden beliefs, often installed in childhood, operate like invisible software running in the background, creating patterns in our reality that may seem random until we recognize their source. If you've begun noticing how your expectations seem to manifest as corresponding experiences in your reality, write in the comments. The mirror never lies to share your recognition of this profound universal principle at work in your own life. Our subconscious programming creates a blueprint that the universe follows with unwavering precision. This invisible architecture of belief isn't just influencing your reality, it's creating it moment by moment. The world isn't working against you, it's simply echoing back your deepest assumptions about what's possible, what you deserve, and how life operates. Consider how your morning mindset affects the unfolding of your day. That first thought upon waking isn't just a fleeting response to circumstance. It's setting the energetic template for the hours ahead. When you rise expecting conflict, delays, and disappointment, you're not predicting your future. You're creating it. The mirror principle ensures that your external reality will align with remarkable accuracy to these internal projections. The revelation that transforms everything is recognizing that your task isn't to make things happen through force and struggle. Your journey is about alignment, bringing your inner landscape into harmony with what you wish to experience. This perspective shift revolutionizes your approach to manifestation, moving you from exhausting effort to inspired embodiment. Behind the scenes of this transformation lies an ancient wisdom that masters throughout history have practiced: the sacred power of gratitude. In the ancient scrolls of wisdom emerges a truth like dawn breaking over still waters. Gratitude possesses a power beyond all measure, transforming both the one who gives thanks and the universe that receives them. Milton's journey speaks directly to this revelation. For years, he carried the weight of past wounds, allowing bitterness to cast long shadows on his path. Each offense, each disappointment became another stone in a wall between him and the abundance of life. Yet transformation awaited him in the simplest of practices. One afternoon, exhausted by the burden of resentment, Milton paused to appreciate the warmth of sunset on his face. In that moment, something shifted within him, a crack in the fortress of his discontent. With each subsequent day, he discovered that focusing on what he had, rather than what he lacked, began to dissolve the shadows that had defined his world. This may be one of the most impactful decisions we can make. Will we live counting losses or celebrating blessings? The universe responds not to what we desire, but to the energy we emit. Gratitude generates a frequency that attracts its own likeness, multiplying reasons to be grateful. It functions as both key and a door, unlocking possibilities while simultaneously creating new pathways for abundance to flow. Gratitude works like a lamp, illuminating previously invisible treasures scattered throughout our days. And the most extraordinary thing is that this practice is available to everyone regardless of external circumstances. When you choose to focus on appreciation rather than lack, you're not denying reality. You're accessing a deeper level of it. The quantum field responds instantly to this shift in vibration. As you consistently direct your attention toward what's working, what's beautiful, what's abundant in your life, even in the midst of challenges, you create an energetic signature that the universe must match. This isn't magical thinking. It's the operation of universal law. What makes gratitude so powerful as a manifestation tool is that it creates an immediate state of receptivity. When you're genuinely grateful, you're already in the vibration of having received. This feeling of fullness, rather than the feeling of wanting or needing, is what draws more abundance toward you through resonance. Try this revelation in practice. Tonight before sleep, identify 3 specific things you're grateful for. Not general categories, but precise moments or gifts in your day. Feel the genuine appreciation in your body, allowing it to wash through you completely. This isn't just a mental exercise, but a full recalibration of your energetic frequency. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring how these 2 powerful forces, the mirror principle and the practice of gratitude, work together to create an energetic field that literally reconfigures your experience of life. Imagine having access to the backstage of reality, where you can see how each grateful thought strengthens your capacity to manifest your deepest desires. If you've experienced how focusing on appreciation has shifted something in your reality, perhaps bringing unexpected gifts or dissolving persistent problems, write in the comments, "Gratitude is my superpower," to share how this practice has transformed your relationship with manifestation. When we combine the mirror principle with the practice of gratitude, we create a powerful catalyst for transformation. These 2 forces don't just work separately, they amplify each other in a beautiful synergy that accelerates your manifestation journey. Think of your beliefs as the blueprint and gratitude as the building material that brings your desires into form. What makes this combination so potent is how it affects your energetic signature. The universe responds not to your wishful thinking or desperate wanting, but to the frequency you consistently emit. Every thought, every emotion, every belief radiates a specific vibration that the quantum field detects and matches with perfect precision. Gratitude generates one of the highest frequencies possible, a state of appreciation that attracts more of what you're appreciating. This revelation illuminates why some people seem blessed by synchronicity while others feel constantly blocked. The difference isn't external circumstances or luck, it's the energetic broadcast they're sending into the field of infinite possibilities. When you exist in a state of genuine appreciation, you create an opening through which abundance naturally flows. Behind the scenes of reality, each grateful thought strengthens your capacity to manifest by shifting your focus from what's missing to what's present. This subtle but profound shift changes everything. Instead of transmitting a frequency of lack that can only attract more lack, you begin broadcasting completeness, which can only attract more completeness. The hidden truth most people miss is that this process works whether you understand it or not. Just as gravity doesn't require your belief to function, the law of energetic resonance operates constantly, faithfully matching your inner state with corresponding external experiences. Your awareness simply allows you to consciously participate in what's happening automatically. Consider how differently your day unfolds when you wake with gratitude versus waking with complaint. That initial frequency sets a trajectory that influences everything that follows. It's not just positive thinking, it's energetic alignment with a higher vibration that naturally attracts experiences matching that elevated state. What's particularly fascinating about this mechanism is how it bypasses the analytical mind. You don't need to figure out how your desires will manifest. Your grateful state creates an energetic blueprint that the universe follows through paths of least resistance. Solutions appear from unexpected directions. Resources arrive through unanticipated channels. Synchronicities multiply as if by magic, yet it's simply universal law at work. The journey of conscious creation becomes radically different when you understand this principle. Instead of straining to make things happen through force and strategy, you learn to cultivate the internal state that naturally attracts what you desire. This shift from doing to being represents a quantum leap in your manifestation practice. Imagine holding a desire in your heart while simultaneously feeling profound gratitude for its fulfillment. Not as a future event, but as a present reality. This seeming paradox creates a powerful resonance in the quantum field. Your appreciation for something not yet visible to your physical eyes communicates to the universe that you're already aligned with its existence. This practice of grateful expectation creates a bridge between your current circumstances and your desired reality. Each time you genuinely feel thankful for what's coming, you strengthen that bridge, making the path of manifestation clearer and more direct. It's like turning on a homing beacon that guides your desires straight to you. The transformational power of this approach lies in its ability to dissolve resistance. When you focus on lack, you create tension that actually blocks what you're trying to attract. But gratitude naturally eliminates this tension, creating a receptive field where manifestation can occur effortlessly. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring another dimension of this manifestation process. The profound paradox that sometimes letting go of effort is exactly what allows your desires to materialize. Agnes's story illuminates how pushing against life's circumstances creates the very resistance we're trying to overcome, while surrender opens doorways we couldn't access through force. If you've experienced moments where gratitude seemed to instantly shift your energy and attract unexpected blessings, write in the comments, "Gratitude changed my frequency," and share how this principle has transformed your manifestation practice. Agnes's story reveals a profound paradox in the journey of manifestation. For years, She had pushed against the circumstances of her life like mountains too steep to climb. Each day, she pressed against the resistance, attempting to bend reality to her determination. Yet, the more force she applied, the more resistance she encountered, until exhaustion left her wondering if her dreams would forever remain beyond reach. The ancient wisdom whispers, when we stop struggling against the current, we discover it carries us exactly where we need to go. This revelation transforms our entire approach to creation and manifestation. The universe operates according to a principle that often seems counterintuitive to our conditioned minds. Sometimes, letting go of effort is precisely what allows our desires to materialize. Agnes discovered this truth one morning when, depleted by endless striving, she simply sat in silence. In that moment of surrender, she felt an inexplicable peace wash over her. The universe, she realized, didn't require her strength, but her faith. As she released her grip on how and when her desires should manifest, pathways began to appear naturally. Opportunities emerged effortlessly. Timing aligned perfectly. What once seemed impossible unfolded with grace. This represents perhaps the most profound shift in our consciousness journey. The law governing manifestation operates through faith, not force. This isn't passive resignation, but a recognition of a deeper intelligence at work, one that orchestrates circumstances far beyond our limited perspective. Think about how often you've tried to control every detail of a desired outcome, meticulously planning each step, only to find yourself exhausted and frustrated. The invisible hand guiding all things responds not to desperate pushing, but to quiet certainty. Faith opens doors that force cannot pass through. Like water finding its course to the sea, your desires know their path to fulfillment. Your role isn't to carve the path, but to trust the flow that carries you. The river doesn't struggle to reach the ocean. It simply follows the natural contours of the landscape, moving around obstacles rather than fighting against them. This truth reveals a fundamental misunderstanding many of us have about the manifestation process. We believe we must make things happen through constant effort and strategic action. But what if the universe already knows the perfect route for your manifestation, one that's far more elegant and efficient than anything you could have planned? Behind the scenes of reality lies a divine orchestration, an intelligence that coordinates countless variables simultaneously to bring your desires to fruition. When you surrender to this flow, you don't abdicate responsibility. You collaborate with a wisdom greater than your own. Think of the moments in your life when pushing harder created more problems than solutions, when forcing an outcome led to frustration rather than fulfillment. Now recall those magical instances when you finally let go, only to find everything falling into place with remarkable ease. These weren't coincidences, but glimpses of universal law in action. The journey of Agnes teaches us that surrender isn't weakness, but wisdom. It's the recognition that sometimes our very effort creates the resistance we're trying to overcome. When she stopped pushing against reality and instead aligned with its flow, what once seemed impossible became inevitable. This principle operates in every area of life: relationships, career, health, abundance. The moment you release, your white-knuckled grip on how things should unfold is often precisely when the path clears before you. It's as if the universe has been waiting for you to step aside so it can work its magic. The transformation begins with a simple but profound shift in perspective. Rather than seeing yourself as the force that must make everything happen, recognize yourself as part of a greater flow, a current that's already moving toward your highest good. Your task isn't to push the river, but to navigate skillfully within its current. This surrender requires tremendous trust, faith that when you release control, You're not abandoning your dreams, but allowing them to reach you through paths you couldn't have discovered through force. It's the understanding that your desires have their own intelligence and momentum, requiring your permission rather than your persistence. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring the power of creative imagination, how the images you hold in mind become the patterns of tomorrow. Through Beatrice's story, we'll discover how what others dismissed as mere daydreaming was actually the blueprint for her future, drawing experiences that matched her internal visions with astonishing precision. If you've experienced a moment when letting go of control paradoxically brought you exactly what you were seeking, write in the comments, "Surrender is advancement," and share how releasing your grip allowed something beautiful to flow into your life. In a small town by the sea, Beatrice tended her garden as memories from childhood emerged like precious shells on the shore. As a child, she had spent countless hours creating vivid images in her mind of adventures, discoveries, and wonders yet to unfold. The world called these mere daydreams, but time revealed a deeper truth. Her imagination had been drawing the blueprints of her future all along. This revelation illuminates one of the most powerful principles in conscious creation. The imagination precedes reality as surely as lightning precedes thunder. What we casually dismiss as fantasy or wishful thinking is actually the first stage of manifestation, the quantum blueprint from which physical experience eventually takes form. Edward's story perfectly illustrates this truth. While others saw only barren land, he walked daily through his imaginary vineyard, feeling the leaves brush against his hands, smelling the ripening grapes, hearing workers calling to each other during harvest. He held this vision with such clarity that it became more real to him than the empty earth before his eyes. Those around him spoke of drought, poor soil, impossible dreams. Yet Edward continued his internal walks through the vineyard of his imagination, knowing that the images in his mind were instructions for the universe. Months passed, then years, and gradually the physical world aligned with his vision. Where others had seen only wasteland, rows of healthy vines now stretched toward the horizon. This law shapes all manifestation. The scenes you create in your consciousness aren't mere escapism or distraction from reality. They're the essential first drafts of what will eventually materialize in your physical experience. Your inner vision is the architect's drawing, and the universe is the faithful builder following every detail with perfect precision. Behind the scenes of creation, this mechanism operates constantly, whether you're aware of it or not. Every circumstance in your life began as an image held in someone's mind, most often your own. The home you live in, the relationships you navigate, the work you do, all were imagined before they became tangible. What makes this revelation so transformative is understanding that imagination isn't just about visualizing objects or circumstances. It's a full sensory immersion, feeling the emotions, sensing the physical sensations, hearing the sounds of your desire fulfilled. When Edward walked through his mental vineyard, he wasn't just seeing it, he was living it completely in his consciousness. The quantum field responds to this kind of imaginative immersion far more powerfully than to mere intellectual concepts or fleeting thoughts. When you engage all your senses in your creative visualization, you're essentially providing the universe with detailed instructions for manifestation. Each sensory detail becomes part of the template that universal forces follow with remarkable fidelity. This understanding revolutionizes how you approach the manifestation process. Instead of thinking about what you want as a distant possibility, you begin to experience it as a present reality in your imagination. The boundary between what is and what could be becomes permeable, allowing your desires to flow from the realm of possibility into tangible experience. Your imagination is not childish fantasy, but your most powerful creative tool. When you understand this principle fully, you begin utilizing this faculty with deliberate intention rather than random daydreaming. Each scene you create with conviction becomes a pattern that reality will eventually mirror, not because you forced it to happen, but because you've aligned with the natural creative process of the universe itself. What many fail to recognize is that imagination operates according to certain principles for maximum effectiveness. Clarity is essential. Vague images produce vague results. Consistency matters. Scattered focus leads to scattered manifestation. And perhaps most importantly, emotional investment transforms a mental picture from a mere thought to a vibrational blueprint with manifestation power. Now, I want to delve into another fundamental aspect of conscious creation, how resistance creates friction while acceptance generates harmony. Through Harold's story of illness and recovery, we'll discover how pushing against life's circumstances creates discord, while alignment with the natural flow brings healing and transformation at levels deeper than we might imagine. If you've experienced the creative power of your imagination, bringing something into your life that you visualized clearly first, share your story with us. Write in the comments, "I imagined it first," and tell us about your experience with this powerful principle. In the depths of winter, Harold lay confined to his bed, his body tormented by an illness that had resisted all remedies. For years, he had pushed against life's currents, forcing his way through each challenge with gritted teeth and clenched fists. His strength had always been his shield, his determination a battering ram against obstacles. However, now stripped of his ability to fight, he discovered a truth that had patiently awaited his attention. As days turned to weeks, Harold found himself surrendering to a different kind of strength. In the quietude of his room, he began to notice the gentle rhythm of his breath, the warmth of sunlight through his window, the peace that came with accepting each moment as it presented itself. Gradually, his resistance melted away, replaced by a subtle harmony with life itself. To his astonishment, his healing began not with struggle, but with surrender. This revelation invites us to reconsider our relationship with the natural flow of existence. When we resist what is, we create a dissonance that drowns out the natural melody of the universe. Our energy becomes discordant, clashing with the very forces seeking to support us. Yet when we align with life's flow, we join an ancient symphony that has been playing since the dawn of time. True transformation occurs not when we overcome external circumstances through force, but when we shift our internal relationship to them. It's a profound pivot from resistance to resonance, from control to trust. This principle operates in every aspect of our existence: health, relationships, creativity, prosperity. The struggle we often mistake for necessary effort actually creates the very friction that impedes our progress. Like swimming against a powerful current, we exhaust ourselves while making minimal headway. But when we turn and move with that same current, we discover an effortless momentum carrying us forward. Behind the scenes of this wisdom lies another dimension of the same truth, beautifully illustrated through Marjorie's story. She lived by her lists and schedules, keeping every moment under iron control. Her garden bloomed under strict routines, her home gleamed with military precision, and her days marched forward in perfect formation. Yet beneath this orchestrated perfection, a weariness grew in her soul. The weight of maintaining absolute control became a burden that dimmed her spirit's light. One morning, while pruning her roses, she noticed a wild vine that had intertwined among her carefully ordered flowers. Her first impulse was to yank it out, to restore the precise order of her garden. But something made her pause. The untamed beauty of life had created patterns more intricate than any she could have designed. In that moment, a truth whispered to her: Nature knows a perfection beyond human planning. This revelation holds a profound message for all of us. When we release our grip on life, we open ourselves to forces greater than our limited vision can comprehend. The universe operates with an intelligence that transcends our careful calculations. Our plans are like pebbles in a vast ocean of possibilities. They make ripples, but the real power lies in the currents that carry them. Have you experienced moments where your meticulously detailed plans were surpassed by something better that you never could have imagined? This is the central paradox of manifestation. The tighter you hold, the more elusive your desires become. Yet in surrender, you align with the natural upwelling of life itself. The art of surrender isn't passive resignation, but active trust. Recognition that the universe contains infinite intelligence, orchestrating circumstances far beyond our limited perspective. By releasing control over how things must unfold, you allow this greater wisdom to work through you. Think about how clouds rise effortlessly, how flowers bloom without strain, how stars shine without trying. This same effortless power lives within you. What you seek is already seeking you. The summit of your desires knows the perfect path to your feet. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring the transformative power of joy, not as a response to favorable circumstances, but as a conscious choice we make regardless of external conditions. Rosalind's story of the rain-soaked bird singing before the sun had dried its feathers reveals a revolutionary perspective on how our emotional state creates our reality more powerfully than our circumstances ever could. If you've experienced the freedom that comes from letting go of control, share it with us. Write in the comments, "Surrender is advancement," and tell us your story of how acceptance led you to a better place than resistance ever could. The essence of masterful manifestation reveals itself in this beautiful paradox. When you release your grip on how and when your desires must materialize, you create the very space they need to flow into your experience. It's as if the universe has been waiting patiently for you to step aside so it can deliver gifts far beyond your careful planning. This journey into surrender represents a profound evolution of consciousness. Most of us have been conditioned to believe that achievement comes through constant striving, pushing, controlling, manipulating circumstances into submission. We treat our desires like wild horses that must be broken rather than divine messengers guiding us home. Yet the revelation that transforms everything is recognizing that this very approach creates resistance to what we seek. The tighter you hold, the more elusive your desires become. Like trying to grasp water in a clenched fist, your very effort causes what you seek to slip away. But when you open your palm in gentle receptivity, that same water pools naturally in your hand. This is the hidden wisdom behind all manifestation. Not force, but alignment. Not pursuit, but attraction. What makes this truth so revolutionary is how it inverts everything we've been taught about achievement and success. Our culture celebrates the hustlers, the strivers, the never-give-up warriors who battle their way to victory. Yet the masters of manifestation throughout history have known a more elegant path, the way of surrender. This surrender isn't passive resignation or giving up on your dreams. It's active trust in an intelligence far greater than your limited perspective. It's the recognition that the universe operates through perfect order, orchestrating countless variables simultaneously to bring about the highest good for all involved. Your surrender doesn't diminish your power. It connects you to a greater power that works through you. Behind the scenes of reality lies this extraordinary truth. What you seek is already seeking you. Your authentic desires aren't random wishes, but divine invitations drawing you toward your highest expression. The summit of your desires already knows the perfect path to your feet. Your role isn't to carve that path through force, but to allow it to reveal itself through trust. Consider how the natural world embodies this principle. Clouds don't strain to rise. They ascend, effortlessly according to universal law. Flowers don't struggle to bloom. They unfold naturally when conditions align. Stars don't effort to shine. Their radiance is their very nature. This same effortless power lives within you, expressing itself whenever you align with its flow, rather than obstruct it through doubt and control. This perspective shift transforms your entire approach to manifestation. Instead of exhausting yourself with endless doing, you cultivate the art of aligned being. You recognize that your desires aren't distant targets to be conquered, but experiences already making their way to you through the path of least resistance. Your trust becomes the invisible bridge they cross to enter your reality. Think of those magical moments when something wonderful arrived in your life precisely when you stopped chasing it. The relationship that appeared when you became content being single. The career opportunity that emerged after you released your attachment to a particular outcome. The financial windfall that arrived when you stopped worrying about money. These weren't coincidences, but glimpses of universal law at work. The journey of conscious creation becomes infinitely lighter when you embrace this truth. You're not responsible for making everything happen through force and strategy. You're invited to co-create through alignment and inspired action, responding to intuitive nudges rather than pushing against closed doors. The universe doesn't require your exhaustion or sacrifice, only your trust and receptivity. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring a profound principle that transforms our entire experience of life: the power of joy as a creative force. In a small mountain village, Rosalind had carried pain like a heavy cloak, wrapping herself in memories of what was lost. Each morning, she would wake to count her sorrows, treating them as familiar companions. The weight of her sadness became a lens through which she viewed the world, coloring everything with muted tones. Yet a transformative revelation awaited her through an unexpected teacher. If you've experienced moments where letting go created space for something wonderful to arrive in your life, write in the comments, "Flow, don't force," and share how surrender brought you something better than your careful plans could have created. One dawn, while watching sunlight pierce through the morning mist, Rosalind witnessed something that would transform her, understanding forever. A bird, drenched by the rain, perched on a branch and began to sing, not after shaking off the water, not after the sun had dried its feathers, but in that precise moment of wetness and cold. The bird's song declared joy, not as a response to conditions, but as a choice made independently of circumstances. This hidden truth resonates deeply when contemplated. You possess this same power of declaration. Joy is not an outcome to be awaited, but a decision to be made in this very moment, regardless of external conditions. This revelation represents a complete paradigm shift in how we approach our journey of manifestation, and indeed our entire life experience. Think about how many of us live in a perpetual state of when-then thinking. When I get the promotion, then I'll be happy. When I find the perfect relationship, then I'll feel complete. When my bank account reaches a certain number, then I'll experience peace. This mindset creates a permanent postponement of joy, placing it always just beyond our reach, a mirage that recedes as we approach it. The transformative decision lies in recognizing that joy isn't something we chase or earn, but something we choose to embody now. Just as the rain-soaked bird didn't wait for perfect conditions to sing, you need not wait for perfect circumstances to experience joy. This revolutionary perspective liberates you from the tyranny of external validation and places the power squarely in your hands. Behind the scenes of reality lies this extraordinary truth. The universe speaks many languages: gratitude, faith, love, but joy resonates at the highest frequency, cutting through the static of doubt and fear. When you choose joy as your native tongue, the universe cannot help but respond in kind. Your declaration of joy becomes a clear signal broadcasting through the quantum field, attracting circumstances that match this elevated vibration. What makes this principle so powerful is how it completely inverts the common assumption about cause and effect. Most people believe joy is a response to favorable conditions, a result rather than a cause. But masters of manifestation throughout history have understood that joy is actually the cause that creates favorable conditions. When you choose joy first, regardless of circumstances, you align with the universe's natural state of expansion and creation. This isn't about denying challenges or pretending difficulties don't exist. It's about recognizing that your internal state is ultimately your choice, and this choice shapes your external reality far more powerfully than any circumstance ever could. The bird didn't deny the rain. It simply chose to sing despite it, perhaps even finding a unique beauty in the contrast between its joyful melody and the wetness surrounding it. Think about someone you know who seems to maintain their joy regardless of what life throws their way. Notice how different their experiences seem from those who are constantly waiting for better conditions before allowing themselves to feel good. The difference isn't in their external circumstances, but in their fundamental decision about how to approach life. The revelation that transforms everything is that this choice is available to you in every moment, regardless of your current situation. You can declare joy not as a response to what is happening, but as a conscious choice that transcends circumstances. This decision becomes your signature, your seal upon the universal substance from which all manifestation emerges. When you practice this principle, something remarkable happens. Instead of your emotions being pulled and pushed by external events like a boat tossed on stormy seas, you become an unwavering lighthouse, emitting a consistent frequency regardless of the weather surrounding you. This stability creates a resonance that the universe recognizes and responds to with corresponding experiences. Now, I want to delve into another essential dimension of this journey toward abundance, the sacred circle of giving and receiving. In a quiet valley between ancient hills lived a man named Harrison, whose hands were calloused from endless giving, but whose heart remained closed to receiving. When neighbors brought food to his door, he turned them away. When praise was offered for his work, he dismissed it. This resistance to receiving stemmed from a deeply rooted belief that acceptance signified weakness, that worth must be earned through perpetual sacrifice. If you've experienced moments where choosing joy, regardless of external circumstances, has transformed your reality, write in the comments, "Joy is my frequency," and share how this deliberate choice has altered your experience of life. Harrison gave and gave until his well ran dry, never understanding that the abundance of the universe requires both inhalation and exhalation of energy. This truth reveals itself not through force, but through the gentle revelation of natural law. The universe operates in perfect circles, just as the ocean receives the rain that once it gave to the sky. All energy must complete its circuit. This revelation invites us to reconsider our own barriers to receiving. When we reject receiving, we create a dam in the natural flow of abundance. Our resistance doesn't preserve resources for others. It interrupts the very cycle that would multiply blessings for everyone. Your acceptance of gifts, help, and blessings is not taking from the universe, but participating in its natural rhythm. Imagine for a moment the impact of this understanding on your daily life. When you allow others to give to you, when you accept support, compliments, opportunities presented to you, you aren't being selfish. On the contrary, you're completing a divine circuit, allowing energy to flow as it was designed to do. Rejecting a gift denies the giver their own participation in this sacred exchange. The universe operates through continuous circulation. Like breathing itself, the flow of abundance requires both giving and receiving. When you block one, you inhibit both. Your graceful acceptance becomes another form of giving, allowing others to experience the joy of generosity. This truth transforms our entire relationship with abundance. Think about how often you might dismiss a compliment, refuse help when offered, or minimize your achievements when acknowledged. Each of these seemingly humble responses actually creates a small blockage in the flow of universal energy. The more frequently you resist receiving, the more you train the universe that you're unavailable for abundance. Your willingness to receive affects directly what flows to you. When you approach life with a thimble, you receive a thimble's measure. When you approach with the expectation of an ocean, the universe fills correspondingly. The supply never diminishes, only our acceptance varies. Harrison's transformation began when an illness left him bedridden, forced to accept help for the first time. Initially, each offering received felt like a painful acknowledgement of weakness. Yet as weeks passed, he noticed something remarkable. Each gift accepted seemed to multiply, not just in his life, but in the lives of those who gave. A neighbor who brought soup found an unexpected job offer the next day. A friend who tended his garden discovered rare seeds had mysteriously appeared in their own yard. These weren't mere coincidences, but demonstrations of universal law. The cosmic equation had balanced itself, showing Harrison that his acceptance had completed circuits of energy that blessed everyone involved. This revelation transformed his understanding of abundance. Receiving wasn't taking, it was participating in the sacred dance of cosmic circulation. Behind the scenes of manifestation lies this beautiful truth. The universe doesn't operate through scarcity, but through endless abundance-seeking expression through open channels. When you close yourself to receiving, you become like a clogged pipe in the cosmic plumbing system. Energy that wishes to flow to and through you must divert around your resistance. This principle applies to every aspect of abundance: financial prosperity, loving relationships, recognition, support, even the simple pleasures of life. Your capacity to receive these blessings expands in direct proportion to your willingness to accept them without guilt or resistance. The universe operates not through the careful rationing of limited supply, but through the overflowing expression of infinite abundance. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring another dimension of our journey toward conscious creation, the vast territory of our inner dimension. Along a misty coastline walked Florence, her eyes forever fixed on distant shores. Each morning she climbed the highest cliff, straining to glimpse what lay beyond the curve of the earth. Her dreams were filled with faraway places, yet her feet remained rooted in familiar ground. If you've discovered this truth in your own life, if you've experienced how opening your heart to receive has amplified your capacity to give, share it with us. Write in the comments "complete circle" and tell us how you've experienced this principle of circulation in your own life. Florence believed that freedom lay somewhere beyond those waves, in lands she had not yet reached. Day after day, she stood at her window, longing for distant adventures while overlooking the vast universe that lived within her own heart. Her quest for expansion in the physical world had blinded her to the infinite space residing in her own being, until one morning, as she watched the dawn over the waters, a sudden wisdom washed over her like the tide below. The horizon she sought wasn't a line where sea meets sky, but the boundless realm within her own consciousness. In that moment of recognition, she closed her eyes and felt an expansion greater than any ocean unfold within her chest. This revelation offers us a transformative perspective on how we experience our limitations. The outer world can only reflect the dimensions we first create within. When you compress your inner space through doubt and limitation, the physical world appears equally confined. But when you allow your inner realm to expand without boundaries, reality reshapes itself to match your infinite nature. Consider this hidden truth for a moment. Every barrier you perceive in your external experience reflects the borders you maintain within. Your inner landscape becomes the template for your manifested reality. Have you noticed how some people seem to attract constant expansion in their lives, while others appear to find limitations at every turn? The difference isn't in their external circumstances, but in the vastness of their consciousness. Your journey toward freedom doesn't require physical relocation, but an internal exploration, a willingness to expand the boundaries of what you believe possible. As Florence discovered, when you close your eyes and journey inward, you find landscapes more vast and possibilities more abundant than any external horizon could offer. Behind the scenes of manifestation lies another crucial dimension: the power of sustained attention. In the heart of an ancient city, Lucille maintained a garden of half-tended dreams. She planted seeds of intention with great enthusiasm, only to abandon them at the first sign of frost or drought. Her desires, though pure, withered from lack of sustained attention as she moved restlessly from one aspiration to another, leaving behind a trail of what might have been. The universe honors not the intensity of desire, but the constancy of attention. Each dream you hold carries within itself a natural timing of unfoldment that asks only for your patient presence. When you scatter your focus by jumping restlessly from one desire to another, you interrupt the delicate process of manifestation. Consider how the ocean shapes the shore, not through sporadic waves, but through the endless rhythm of its tides. This same law governs the realization of your deepest yearnings. Persistence isn't forced action, but sustained awareness, a quiet confidence that remains steady through both storm and calm. The impact of this revelation on your manifestation journey is profound. What you attend to grows. Your consistent focus creates an energetic field around your desires, attracting to you the circumstances and opportunities necessary for their fulfillment. Like water wearing away stone, persistence reshapes what seems immovable. The law of attraction responds not to intermittent signals, but to sustained frequencies. When you maintain unwavering attention on your chosen path, the universe aligns its forces with your direction. It isn't blind repetition, but conscious continuation. Each step taken with renewed faith in the invisible order of things. Think of persistence not as struggle, but as devotion. Daily renewal of your commitment to the unfolding vision. This constancy creates a momentum in the quantum field that eventually becomes irresistible. The universe recognizes and responds to this signature of dedicated focus, bringing into alignment all that's needed for manifestation. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring the divine timing of manifestation. In a small town among rolling hills, Norma spent her days in restless agitation. Each morning she inspected her garden, tugging at stems to accelerate growth, only to find withered plants and damaged roots. Her impatience led her to force processes that by their very nature require time to flourish. If you've experienced the power of maintaining a constant focus on a dream until you saw it manifest, write in the comments "Persistence pays" and share how sustained attention has transformed your reality. Norma's story perfectly illustrates our relationship with divine timing in manifestation. Her impatience extended beyond her garden into relationships hastily forced, career opportunities rushed, and dreams prematurely abandoned when they didn't immediately bear fruit. The universe operates according to its own divine timeline, moving with a wisdom that transcends human urgency. When we attempt to force the natural rhythm of manifestation, we create resistance to the very blessings trying to reach us. This hidden truth reveals a completely new dimension of our creative process. Each desire carries within itself the perfect moment of its own development. Like seeds beneath winter soil, our deepest wishes require a season of quiet gestation. During this sacred interval, invisible forces arrange circumstances, align pathways, and prepare perfect conditions for their emergence. Your role isn't to constantly unearth the seed to check its progress, but to maintain unwavering faith in the natural process of growth. The most profound transformation in our mindset occurs when we stop seeing patience as passive waiting and begin experiencing it as active trust. When you release the need for immediate results, you allow the universe to work in ways far superior to your limited planning. Your desires are heard in the moment they arise. The delay you perceive is merely the gap between sowing and harvesting. Think of patience as the soil itself, rich, dark, and fertile with possibilities. In its depths, miraculous transformations occur unseen. The seed doesn't question whether it will become a flower. It simply embraces the darkness, knowing each moment of waiting brings it closer to blooming. Behind the scenes of manifestation, this divine timing orchestrates circumstances with precision that would astound you if you could witness it. What appears as delay often serves as protection, preparation, or positioning. The job opportunity that seems delayed may be waiting for the perfect team to form. The relationship that hasn't yet materialized may be developing the exact qualities you've asked for. The financial breakthrough that seems elusive may be gathering momentum through channels you can't yet see. This revelation transforms our relationship with time itself. Instead of seeing it as an obstacle to overcome, we recognize time as a crucial ingredient in the alchemy of manifestation. Just as fine wine cannot be rushed, certain creations require specific durations to reach their fullest expression. The universe understands this perfectly, operating according to natural laws that honor the ripening process of all things. Think about experiences in your own life where something arrived at precisely the right moment, not when you desperately wanted it, but when you were truly ready to receive it. That timing wasn't accidental, but evidence of a greater wisdom at work. Had your desire manifested earlier, you might not have developed the capacity to appreciate or sustain it. Had it arrived later, you might have missed its perfect integration into your life's unfolding story. The journey of Norma took an unexpected turn one spring morning. Exhausted by her perpetual impatience, she sat beneath a blooming cherry tree and simply watched as petals drifted down around her. In that moment of surrender, she glimpsed the perfect orchestration of nature's timing, how each blossom opened precisely when conditions aligned, neither hurried nor delayed. This revelation washed over her like cool rain on parched soil. The universe wasn't withholding her desires, it was preparing them with exquisite care. As she embraced this understanding, Norma's relationship with her goals transformed completely. Her garden flourished when allowed to follow its natural cycles. Relationships deepened when given space to evolve organically. Opportunities arrived with a synchronicity that seemed magical, yet reflected the perfect alignment of universal forces. What had once been exhausting struggle became joyful participation in divine timing. This principle invites us to a revolutionary perspective shift. When you find yourself growing impatient with the pace of manifestation, consider that the universe may be orchestrating circumstances far more intricate and beautiful than anything you could have planned. Like a symphony conductor coordinating countless musicians, universal intelligence ensures that every element arrives in perfect harmony. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring the transformative power of stillness. In the bustling marketplace of a desert city, Clyde moved like a whirlwind through his days. His mind raced ceaselessly with plans and schemes, each thought colliding with the next in a storm of mental activity. Though his business flourished on the surface, opportunities escaped his notice, and prosperity felt shallow, like water running through cupped hands. If you've experienced how perfect timing has played a role in your life, bringing you exactly what you needed at precisely the right moment, write in the comments, "I trust divine timing," and share how this principle has worked its magic in your journey. Through your own experience, you've witnessed how the noise of constant movement drowns out the whispers of intuition. When the mind ceaselessly agitates, it creates a veil between you and the subtle guidance of the universe. This veil grows thicker with each moment of restlessness until the very abundance you seek becomes obscured by the fog of your own creation. The universe speaks. In silence, its language is the space between thoughts, the pause between breaths, the stillness that cradles creation itself. Within this sacred silence lies a power greater than all action, the power of pure being. Here, in the depths of quietude, the law of attraction operates with perfect clarity, unobstructed by the static of anxious thinking. Have you noticed how great revelations often arrive in moments of calm? How solutions to complex problems suddenly appear when you stop striving to find them? This isn't coincidence, but the direct impact of aligning with wisdom that can only be accessed in silence. Think of your mind as a pond. When agitated, it reflects nothing clearly. But as it settles, it becomes a perfect mirror, reflecting the sky above and revealing depths below. Similarly, your consciousness in stillness reflects the abundance of the universe and reveals the treasures awaiting within your own being. The silence you cultivate becomes a magnetic force, attracting to you that which resonates with your deepest truth. Not through effort or force, but through the simple power of undisturbed awareness, your desires find their path to manifestation. This is the paradox of stillness. By doing nothing, everything is accomplished. Behind the scenes of this profound truth lies another essential principle: trust as the invisible container that holds all abundance. In a bustling marketplace, Pearl clutched her coins with trembling fingers while fear cast shadows over her thoughts. Each gain felt temporary, each blessing seemed on the verge of slipping away. She lived in constant anxiety that her good fortune would vanish like morning mist. Have you ever found yourself holding your blessings with such tight hands that you could almost feel them slipping through your fingers? This behavior reveals a hidden truth about manifestation's nature. Trust is the invisible vessel that contains all abundance. When you cling too tightly, you create small fractures, through which blessings leak away. The universe moves with perfect precision, but your doubt disturbs its natural flow, contracting what naturally wants to expand. Each worried thought sends ripples through the field of possibilities, disturbing what might naturally expand. The law of attraction responds not only to your desires, but to the quality of trust you maintain. When you live in fear of loss, you transmit a frequency of lack to the universe. This signal attracts experiences matching your anxiety, creating a cycle that confirms your deepest concerns. It's as if you're telling the universe, "I don't trust you can sustain my blessings," and the universe simply responds, "As you say." This dynamic invites a profound transformation in our mindset, shifting from fearful grasping to trusting receptivity. When you release the pressure of fear, you allow your container of well-being to grow naturally, like a river widening its banks through gentle persistence. Your capacity to receive increases through steady trust. Your relationship with abundance reflects your relationship with the universe itself. When you trust the infinite source, you become an open channel through which blessings flow freely. This trust isn't naive optimism, but deep understanding that you're backed by universal laws that never fail. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring another principle that complements the power of trust perfectly: the light of clear intention. In the heart of an ancient valley, Sylvia wandered through her days like scattered leaves in the wind. Though blessed with talents and opportunities, her energies dispersed in countless directions, leaving her exhausted yet unfulfilled. Her life resembled a lamp whose light spread thinly, dimly illuminating everything rather than focusing its radiance with purpose. Within you dwells the same power that guides stars in their courses, the power of pure intention. When your thoughts drift like clouds across the sky, your energy dissipates across vast possibilities. But when you gather your thoughts into a clear ray of intention, the universe responds with remarkable precision. If you've experienced how maintaining trust created space for abundance to flow into your life, write in the comments, "Trust expands my container," and share how releasing the grip of fear has transformed your relationship with prosperity. Just as sunlight focused through a lens concentrates its power into a single point of transformative energy, your intention becomes a beacon that attracts corresponding circumstances. This revelation invites us to reconsider the impact of our mental dispersion. It isn't mere positive thinking, but the operation of an eternal law. Energy flows where intention goes. When you align your thoughts, feelings, and actions with a clear purpose, you create a channel through which universal energy naturally flows. Your power isn't in controlling every detail, but in maintaining clarity of purpose. Each morning upon waking, each night while resting, your intention sets the compass for your journey. The universe only asks for this clarity, this consistent signal amid life's daily noise. Think of intention as light itself, pure, direct, and illuminating. It requires no force, no strain, no desperate pleading. It simply asks for your consistent choice to keep its beam focused and clear. Everything else flows from this central point of clarity. Behind the scenes of this principle lies another dimension of manifestation that transforms our entire approach: the sacred art of faith. Each morning, Franklin sat in his garden, offering his prayers to the universe without clinging to the method of response. He didn't dictate the how or when, but simply released his intentions to the infinite field, trusting completely that universal wisdom knew the perfect path. This principle represents a revolution in our manifestation mindset. While our human nature drives us to control every detail, to map each step of the process, Franklin understood a deeper truth, that the how belongs to a wisdom greater than his own. When his business faced challenges, rather than frantically seeking solutions, he maintained his practice of peaceful trust. One day, a stranger appeared with exactly the connection his business needed. Another time, a casual conversation revealed the perfect solution to an urgent problem. Each answer arrived through channels he could never have anticipated, always at the precise moment required. The invisible hand guiding all things responds not to desperate pushing, but to quiet certainty. A subtle yet powerful frequency shift occurs when we move from anxiety about results to confidence in the process. Your faith becomes a resonance the universe cannot ignore, like a tuning fork that, when vibrating, causes nearby tuning forks to vibrate at the same frequency. Your serene certainty creates a resonance that attracts circumstances aligned with your intention. Have you noticed how some people seem to attract solutions almost magically, while others constantly struggle against obstacles? The difference isn't their luck or external circumstances, but the frequency of faith they maintain, even when there's no visible evidence their desires are materializing. This principle opens another doorway to understanding the creative power of our words. Every morning, Rufus stood in his modest garden and spoke words of abundance to the dawn. While others saw only struggling seedlings, he addressed his plants as if they already bore abundant fruit. He blessed his empty storehouse as if it overflowed with harvest. To watching eyes, he seemed to speak to nothing, but he knew his words carried power. This practice wasn't mere positive thinking or self-deception. Rufus understood a hidden truth that has existed since time's dawn. Your words shape the substance of your tomorrow as surely as a potter molds clay. Ancient texts whisper, "In the beginning was the Word." This truth remains unchanged. Your words form tomorrow's substance. Language isn't simply a means of communication between people, but a direct communication tool with the universe itself. When you declare something with conviction, you're not merely expressing a desire or hope, you're emitting a specific frequency the quantum field recognizes and responds to. As an ancient master said, death and life are in the power of the tongue. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring how rejection often serves as divine redirection. In life's bustling marketplace, Clyde faced rejection after rejection, trying to sell his wares through the same channels. Each no seemed to confirm his imminent failure. Every closed door appeared to seal his fate, until a moment of unexpected clarity transformed everything. If you've experienced how faith opened doors that force could never break through, write in the comments, "Faith finds a way," and share how trusting the universe brought solutions through unexpected channels in your life. What if each no was simply a directive toward a yes you haven't yet discovered? With this new perspective, Clyde began to see rejections not as endpoints, but as signposts on his path. When the great merchants turned him away, he discovered a hidden alley where smaller shops thrived. There, his unique offerings found not just acceptance, but celebration, bringing him greater prosperity than the main street ever could have provided. This inner transformation represents one of the most powerful paradigm shifts in our manifestation journey. Rejection isn't a verdict on your worth or the merit of your dreams. It's simply a redirection towards something better aligned with your highest good, like a river finding its way around rocks. Your blessings will always find a way to reach you, often through channels you never would have considered. Behind every no lies a superior yes, waiting to be discovered. Behind every closed door hides a portal to a better opportunity. The key is maintaining enough faith to keep seeking that hidden alley, that less traveled path, where your unique gifts will be not just accepted, but celebrated. This principle invites a profound reconsideration of how we interpret obstacles in our path. Each challenge, each rejection, each apparent dead end is actually part of a divinely calibrated algorithm perfectly designed to guide you exactly where you need to be. The universe isn't working against you, but constantly orchestrating circumstances for your highest good. The transformation occurs not when you change external circumstances, but when you revolutionize your inner perception, when you begin to see each obstacle as a redirection, each rejection as protection, each no as a not yet or a "I have something better for you." You unlock an entirely new level of co-creation with the universe. Think about how water behaves when it encounters an obstacle in its path. It doesn't stop flowing. It simply changes direction, finding the path of least resistance toward its destination. This same intelligence operates in every aspect of your life. The flow of opportunities, blessings, and manifestations never truly stops. It simply redirects when it meets resistance. When a door closes before you, it doesn't mean the universe is denying your desire. It means the energy is being channeled toward a path more aligned with your highest good. This revelation transforms your relationship with apparent setbacks, allowing you to approach them with curiosity rather than defeat. What better path is this redirecting me toward? Becomes your empowering question. Have you noticed how sometimes the greatest gift arrives disguised as disappointment? That job you didn't get that left you devastated, only to discover months later it would have led you down a path not aligned with your true purpose. That relationship that ended and broke your heart, but freed you to find someone who resonated more deeply with your soul. These aren't coincidences, but manifestations of the intelligent flow of life working perpetually in your favor. The moment of breakthrough in your manifestation practice comes when you recognize that every circumstance contains multiple doorways, each leading to new dimensions of possibility. When you appear stuck, it's not because the flow has stopped, but because your perception has narrowed to see only one exit. Expand your vision, relax your grip on how you believe things should unfold, and you'll discover passages that had been invisible to you. Behind the scenes of reality, this principle operates with unfailing consistency. Like water shaping its course around every obstacle, the flow of manifestation continuously seeks the path of least resistance toward your highest good. Your task isn't to force the current, but to navigate skillfully within it, recognizing redirections as guidance rather than obstruction. This wisdom reveals another profound truth about the universe. It never restricts, it only redirects. What appears as denial in one direction becomes invitation to greater fulfillment in another. The key isn't forcing closed doors open, but maintaining the awareness that countless thresholds await your discovery. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring the transformative power of silence, how the universe speaks most clearly in the space between thoughts. Through Clyde's story of constant mental activity, we discover that when the mind incessantly agitates, it creates a veil between us and the subtle guidance trying to reach us. In the sacred realm of silence lies a manifestation power greater than all our doing combined. If you've experienced how an apparent rejection or failure ended up guiding you towards something much better than you originally imagined, write in the comments, "Divine Redirection," and share how a no in your life became the pathway to your greatest yes. Clyde's mind resembled a marketplace at high noon, crowded with competing thoughts, each demanding immediate attention. Despite his successful business on the surface, opportunities slipped past unnoticed and prosperity felt shallow, like trying to hold water in cupped hands. Through your own journey, you've likely experienced how this mental noise drowns out the universe's subtle guidance, creating a dense fog between you and the very abundance you seek. The most profound revelation comes when we recognize that the universe speaks not in the clamor, but in the silence. Its language is the space between thoughts, the pause between breaths, the stillness that cradles all creation. Within this sacred quietude lies a power greater than all action, the pure potential of being itself. Here, in this tranquil depth, the law of attraction operates with crystal clarity, unobstructed by the static of anxious thinking. Have you noticed how your greatest insights often arrive not in moments of frantic problem-solving, but in periods of calm? The solution that suddenly appears while showering, the perfect idea that emerges during a quiet walk, the clarity that dawns just before sleep. These aren't coincidences, but glimpses of how inspiration naturally flows when the mind stills its constant chatter. Think of your consciousness as a pond. When agitated by winds of worry and currents of concern, it reflects nothing clearly. But as the surface settles into perfect stillness, it becomes a flawless mirror reflecting the sky above while simultaneously revealing depths below. This tranquil state doesn't just allow for clearer thinking, it creates a magnetic resonance that attracts precisely what aligns with your deepest truth. Behind the scenes of manifestation, this stillness becomes your greatest power. Not through striving or struggling, but through the simple presence of undisturbed awareness, your desires find their path to fulfillment. This is perhaps the most counterintuitive aspect of conscious creation. Sometimes doing nothing accomplishes everything. This revelation connects beautifully with another transformative truth about our essential nature. In a small town by the sea, Genevieve walked with downcast eyes, shoulders hunched as if carrying an invisible weight. Though skilled at creating intricate jewelry, she sold her work far below its value, rejected compliments, and lived in a state of perpetual apology for occupying space in the world. This story reflects a mindset many recognize in their own lives, the unconscious belief that we are somehow insufficient, that we must earn our right to receive abundance, love, or success through endless proving and striving. Yet the hidden truth masters throughout ages have guarded is that dignity isn't something to be earned, but a divine right with which you were born. This truth lies written in creation's very fabric. Dignity isn't earned. It's inherent. You were born crowned with the divine right to abundance. This crown cannot be given or taken away. It can only be recognized or denied. When you stand in full knowledge of your worth, the universe bows in recognition. Reflect for a moment on how this revelation impacts your own life. How many times have you minimized your gifts, reduced your prices, dimmed your light? Each time you do this, you send a message to the field of possibilities surrounding you. I am worth less. And the universe, being the perfect mirror it is, simply reflects that belief back to you. You may have walked through life believing you must prove your worth through endless achievement or sacrifice. However, worth flows through you as naturally as breath. It shines in your eyes, beats in your heart, and sings in your spirit. No external validation can increase it, and no rejection can diminish it. When you deny your worth, you create resistance to the very abundance trying to reach you. It's like a king refusing to sit on his throne, remaining in self-imposed exile from your natural state of prosperity. The universe cannot override this choice. It must wait patiently for you to claim your crown. Now I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring the sacred nature of desire itself. In a quiet village beneath ancient mountains, Opal carried a heavy shame. Whenever her heart stirred with longing for something greater, she quickly extinguished the ember, fearing it marked her as selfish or ungrateful. She had learned early to silence her dreams, to make herself small, to accept less than what her soul whispered was possible. If you've ever felt you've been apologizing for your existence or diminishing your light to make others comfortable, share your experience with us. Write in the comments, "Reclaiming my crown," and tell us how you're beginning to honor both your inherent dignity and the sacred desires guiding you. Yet desire flows as naturally as rivers to the sea. It cannot be denied without denying life itself. This revelation invites us to completely reconsider our relationship with our deepest longings. The universe plants seeds of desire in your heart, not to torment you, but to guide you toward your highest expression. These sacred flames illuminate the path to your destiny. Your yearnings are not random wishes, but divine messages encoded in the language of the heart. They whisper of possibilities that already await in the quantum field, requiring only your permission to manifest. When you suppress desire, you dim the light, meant to guide you home. Have you ever felt a burning passion for something only to smother it, thinking, "Who am I to desire so much?" In those moments, you're rejecting not just a passing whim, but a divine compass specifically designed to guide you toward your highest purpose. Each authentic desire arising in your heart is like a coordinate on the map of your destiny, precisely calibrated to direct you toward your greatest good. The longing you feel is life itself, reaching for greater expression through you. When you embrace desire as sacred, you align with the creative force shaping worlds. Opal's transformation began on a moonlit night when she dared to uncover a dream she'd buried years before, to create healing art that would touch hearts across continents. As she allowed this ember to glow once more, something extraordinary happened. Rather than feeling the shame that had always accompanied her desires, she experienced a profound sense of coming home, as if the universe itself sighed with relief that she had finally reclaimed this part of her soul's mission. The journey of reclaiming your desires requires courage, the willingness to acknowledge what truly makes your heart sing, regardless of whether it seems practical, sensible, or achievable in the eyes of others. Your role isn't to judge your desires as too big or too small, but to honor them as messengers guiding you exactly where you need to go. This understanding transforms not only your relationship with your desires, but with your worth itself. When you truly honor both your inherent dignity and the sacred nature of your longings, you create an energetic alignment that the universe must respond to. No longer creating resistance through self-doubt, you become a clear channel for abundance to flow through. Think of yourself as royalty who has been living in exile, unaware of your true heritage. The moment you reclaim your crown, recognizing your intrinsic worth and the divine nature of your desires, you activate a magnetic resonance that draws your kingdom to you. The universe has been waiting patiently for this moment of self-recognition, holding your abundance in sacred trust until you were ready to receive it. This revelation represents the most profound transformation in the journey of manifestation, the shift from seeking validation externally to recognizing your inherent worthiness internally. No longer do you approach life from a position of lack, hoping to be deemed worthy enough to receive your good. Instead, you stand firmly in the knowledge that abundance is your birthright, as natural to you as your breath and heartbeat. Behind the scenes of this transformation lies a quantum reality most people never glimpse. Each time you diminish your light or reject a heartfelt desire, you're literally creating an energetic barrier that abundance cannot penetrate. It's not that you're being punished for lack of self-worth. It's simply that you're broadcasting a frequency of not enough that the universe, in its perfect responsiveness, must match. Conversely, when you stand tall in your dignity and honor the sacred nature of your desires, you emit a clear signal of worthiness that attracts corresponding experiences. This isn't magical thinking, but the operation of universal law, like attracts like, resonance draws resonance. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring the language of synchronicities, how the universe speaks to us through meaningful coincidences that guide our path. Throughout the bustling marketplace of life, Ida moved, seeing only scattered moments, disconnected events that seemed to hold no deeper significance. Each circumstance appeared isolated, a missed train, an unexpected conversation, a wrong turn leading nowhere. She lived, as many do, treating life as a series of random occurrences without pattern or purpose. If you've begun to recognize that your deepest desires aren't random wants but sacred messages guiding you toward your highest expression, write in the comments, "My desires are divine guidance," and share how honoring your authentic longings has led you toward fulfillment. You've journeyed with me through these ancient truths about manifestation and the power of your own consciousness. If these revelations have awakened something within you, a recognition of wisdom that feels both new and somehow familiar, I'd love to continue this exploration with you. These principles we've explored aren't just concepts to understand intellectually, but truths to embody in your daily experience. Each one offers a key to unlocking more of your innate creative power, and there's so much more to discover together on this path of conscious manifestation. If this message resonated in your heart, simply write, "The divine change has begun," in the comments below. I read these messages personally, and am always touched by how these universal truths speak uniquely to each person's journey. A gentle tap on that like button helps these teachings reach others who are ready for their own awakening. It completes the circle of giving and receiving we explored, allowing this wisdom to flow where it's meant to go. For those hungry to deepen this practice immediately, I've created a video right here on activating the power of creative visualization, a perfect companion to what we've just explored together. It will guide you through practical steps to harness the imagination principle we discussed. Click and let's continue this journey of transformation together. Remember always, you are not a leaf carried by the wind of destiny. You are the wind itself.